going on, everybody? We are live. What's going on, everybody? Glad you are here. Do me a favor, light up the chat. Let me know where you are watching from and what platform you're watching. Today we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram. So let me know where you're watching from, and let me know if you can hear me okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me all right. Yes. So we got people already coming in on IG. And if you're watching on IG and you want the full experience, please go over to YouTube, go to Harrison Family Values, and go over to the YouTube channel or Facebook and watch it there. Yeah, man, we're going to have a decent discussion tonight. And maybe I'll let you guys call in if you guys choose to. All right. Everything's all set. Yeah, man. Just made some coffee. It's a little hot. I'm trying to let it cool down before and it's so full, so I have to like sip it before I put the lid on. I think it's good now. We're gonna have a nice discussion tonight, and I'm gonna cover two topics today. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Whether you're watching, I gotta turn this down. Whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, so make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, because we're about to get into this topic today. Okay. Where is I got papers all over the place. Give me 1 second, guys, while I look for, where is it? I just had it here, and I don't know where it is. It's not far, but, where are you? That's all right. I'll find it later. It's a copy of my book I wanted to show you guys. But either way, what's going on? Thank you guys so much for watching. Glad you are here. You are now tuned in to Harrison Family Vlogs, the podcast. I am your host, Dre. And on this channel, we talk about everything related to faith, family, fatherhood, manhood, and marriage. All right. So I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you're with us. And if you are here for the first time and you like the video, please hit the like button. It does help with the algorithm. It doesn't cost you anything. And you'll be supporting the channel that way. And if you would like to subscribe to the channel, please, by all means, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification next to it. And it'll let you know when I upload new videos, when I go live like I'm doing right now. My brother is in the building. What's going on, bro? I miss you, bro. Like, I really miss you. I miss you. Miss you, bro. I'm glad you're here. How's everything down there in Texas? How's everything out there in Texas? I hope everything is okay down there. Is that how you guys talk? I don't have no clue how you guys talk. You guys got that accent. We don't have an accent. You guys got the accent. Yeah, man. We're going to talk about this, all right? And I'm not going to be too long. I hope I won't be too long. I'm going to try not to be too long, to be honest with you. It's the last week of the marking period. I have make sure that all my grades are in, report cards are done, comments are made, IEPs are updated, progress reports updated, all by Friday. So I have a lot of work to do, but I am committed to the work of this channel. And here's the brother down here right now gloating about the 85-degree weather they had today. Whatever, bro. Whatever. Where we at? Whatever, bro. Whatever. Keep that hot weather down there. Listen, I wish I was in hot weather. I ain't gonna lie. I wish, but I love New York. I love New York, man. New York is home. Up north is home. It's home. It's going good down here. I bet it's going good down there. Well, I'm glad you're here, bro. And please give my love to your family. I'm glad you're here because you're one of the men out there doing the work. Being a father, a guide, a role model to your children. So shout out to you, my brother. I appreciate everything that you are doing with your family. You are a great role model, not just for your kids, but for many men, including myself, out there. So I appreciate you. And today we're going to be talking about that. Manhood. Or when does a young man know he becomes a man? When? When is that? I wrote a book that released in 2012 called From a Fatherless Father to His Sons. The book is available on Amazon. I recommend you get it. I heard it was good. And the book was about my journey in identifying what manhood is without a man to show me how. And in my research for the book, I looked up different cultures and practices and what they did to identify their young men to become men. In America, we don't really have that unless you are of maybe a specific location in Africa, tribe in Africa. If you are of Israeli descent, you have some sort of a rites of passage. Some in Israeli descent, those of us who are Jewish will label it or call it a bar mitzvah. But in general, American young boys don't know when they have become men. And a lot of that has to do with the time. Times have changed, right? Where years ago, young girls and young boys had to become adults pretty early, right? They became, am I centered? They became adults pretty early, had responsibilities pretty early. So yeah, they were working at a very young age. Now we have child labor laws which prevent all that. I don't know, man. Like my son can go to work. Like that will be helpful. He can go to work, all right? But within reason. But we have child labor laws, and I think today our world has become, especially in the Western culture, has become so convenient and so soft in essence that boys aren't considered men until later in life. And then we treat them as such to the point where college students, boys that are college age, will get into senseless behaviors and we chalk it up to, oh, it's just boys being boys, right? And I think that has allowed us all to look at manhood with a sense of contempt, or we don't take it too serious now, do we, right? We don't. We expect boys to be boys as long as they can. And really, there's hardly any guides out there telling young boys, this is what men do. This is how men should behave. And I think a lot of that has to do with society as well. Society is like, who are you to tell men how to be a man? Well, if we don't, who will? Because if people who don't really care about the state of society tell boys how to act, it's going to probably crumble our society. Chavis said, and let me come here. Brother Chavis says, oh, this is from last week. Let me see if I could put this up there. Hey, what's going on, bro? Showing love in the chat. Yeah, show some love in the chat. All right, I see you guys. Yeah. So, as I'm messing up my live stream right now, but yeah, it's a thing that we need to consider, right? Like how? Because let's be honest. This is for the betterment of all societies. Wouldn't it be nice if we can, and as much as you don't want to, define in a general context what a man is? Because here's the thing. We're always hearing things about what men should be doing, how men should be behaving. And then on the flip side, who are you to say what a man is? Listen, our communities are crumbling because we don't know when men should become men. We don't tell them, all right, you reach a specific area or time in your life where you need to now be responsible and be a man. It's time now. We're not doing that anymore, or in this culture, we haven't done it. So boys are extending their boyhood well into their 30s and maybe even the 40s, not adding any value to their families, nor are they adding values to their communities. It's serious. It's serious. Now, I support children living in the home as long as they can, especially if it's for the purpose of saving up to put money down on the house or buy a house outright, cash. I support that. So I never shame men who are living in their parents' home if that's the purpose. But how many of us have heard or have witnessed or know of a 30-something-year-old, late 20s, 30s, even 40s, still living in their parents' basement, focused on video games and not doing much with their life? Like we all know a few people like that. And we don't want to pass judgment, but we also, in the back of our minds, are thinking they really are good for nothing. It's because we are afraid to tell men when they've become a man. And I think I think we need to now draw the line and say, listen, we are now trying to raise up strong communities, and we need strong men in it. And we're going to tell you exactly what it takes to be a man today. It's needed. I want to play this video real quick that I saw on IG, and it made some sense. So do me a favor, if you can hear it, put a 1 in the chat. I want to make sure that you guys can hear what he has to say. All right, so put a 1 in the chat if you can hear it.
So there is no initiation from when a boy becomes a man in our culture, right? In the Western world, there is no rites of passage. There is no clear line of when a boy actually becomes a man. The cultural story that we've been told is, oh, the first time he has sex with a woman, or he makes money, or buys a car, or buys a house. And we've been told these stories, but over and over again, we have a society of little boys walking around in the bodies of men that have bought the car and the house and have the women and have all these things, but they're just little hurting boys inside, right? And the number one struggle we have with men in our culture is they lack purpose. And when you lack purpose, you chase pleasure and avoid pain.
Oh, you hear that? When you lack purpose, you chase pleasure and avoid pain. That's a bar. When you lack purpose, you chase pleasure and avoid pain. You know what's crazy? It's sort of like the gentleman, the grown man, the adult male, I'll say the adult male who isn't about anything. He meets the 666 category. And what he's doing is he's out there chasing pleasure by irresponsibly spilling a seed on every woman willing to give it to him. And also at the same time trying to avoid the pain of being a father or being a boyfriend or being a husband. Sometimes it can be painful, and painful not in the sense that it hurts like that, but painful that it takes work for it all to work out. That's a bar. If you lack purpose, you chase pleasure and avoid pain. That's deep. Right? He's got me.
Right?
Got my attention.
Most men are sold this idea that men don't cry, that men don't have feelings, that men just have to toughen up and just bury all those emotions and that pain down. When in reality, we have a movement now of men starting to do the work, starting to heal their hearts, starting to understand all of the things that are going on inside their bodies and bringing it to the surface. Because most women are now leaving their men. They're getting divorces. They're breaking up with their partners. They're going the other way because they're just like, I just want my man to express and share how they're feeling and what they're going through. And
now that's true in a lot of cases, not true in all cases. Okay, so this is he's not speaking about the mass. Like, this is not, so for some, absolutely. Some men may struggle with expressing themselves, which is probably a cause for some women wanting to leave. However, there are some great men whose wives just want to leave because they don't want to be in a marriage, or they found something better, or they found excitement in another guy. So we also got to consider those things as well. But what he's saying is not false for a large majority of men.
And to be vulnerable. And so for all the men out there that are doing the work, that are realizing, oh man, I really got to tap into this self of who I am and what my purpose is. Otherwise, I'll never be able to bring in the feminine that I hope to have. And so all the men out there, I see you, I celebrate you, I love you. Thank you for doing the work.
And this is, and I think men have to also know the difference between pursuing your purpose and being busy. There's a difference. And this is something that I'm trying to reason even now, because there's some things that I want to accomplish that might not be in the purpose that God has for me. I just want to accomplish it, which also will keep me busy. I need to know the difference, and I think men need to know the difference. Staying busy is not the same as fulfilling your purpose. It's not necessarily together, and it doesn't work all the time together. Sometimes you pursuing your purpose is one thing, but you staying busy is a completely different thing. So you got to know the difference between the two.
All the feminine women out there that are holding these spaces and creating safe spaces for men to be vulnerable without shaming them or judging them or critiquing them or pressuring them. Thank you for all those women doing that. I love you guys. Peace. So,
yeah, man, I think he brought up some good points, valid points, especially that men who don't have purpose will pursue passion and avoid pain. That's deep. And I rock with him on that one. And I think he's right. He's right, because we lack guidance as a whole. Men would tell men or young boys when they've become a man, which is why fathers are essential in our societies. Whether they live in the home or not, fathers are essential. Which leads me to this point, and you guys may disagree. Gotta be honest with you, I am torn between this specific thing I'm going to talk about, because for a while I was in this brother's corner, and then some things happened that made me question whether or not God is actually speaking to him. And I'm speaking about Super Bowl champion winning quarterback Russell Wilson, who's married to Sierra. I'm going to play you a video, right? And in this video, he brings up a good point about, it sort of adds to what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to play this video real quick. I'm going to make a quick adjustment here. All right. I'm going to play this video for you guys real quick. All right. Listen to what the brother has to say.
And when I walked in the room and I saw, little Future, who's 9 months at the time or whatever, and he crawls in my lap, and it was like, this is going to be my responsibility. God, I remember leaving that night, and God saying, God saying to me, raising this child is going to be your responsibility.
Now, I commend him for this. I do commend him for this. Okay, what's going on, Brother Brandon? Glad you were here. I commend him for this, because as much as men are out there shaming stepfathers, understand this, all right? Many stepfathers are stepping into a place that the real father isn't. So instead of shaming the real father for making a child and not being there to take care of it, we shame the stepfather who steps up to take care of the child. I think that's absolutely stupid. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's dumb and immature, which also is indicative of what state we are in today as it pertains to manhood and masculinity, okay? But I got to be honest with you. Him saying that God told him that baby Future is now his responsibility to raise, has me raising my eyebrow a little bit, because God also told him to lead his wife, and he can be seen on red carpets with his wife wearing virtually nothing, and not leaving anything to the imagination. And that's not something that God's going to lead or tell their husband to lead their wives to. That's my take on it. Some of you may disagree. Like, he's a husband, not her. He's a leader of his home, and he said God called him to lead. But he also said God has told him that Future is now his responsibility to raise. Now, whether or not God told him that, the fact that he's stepping up to raise this child who may not have complete access to his father because of the type of career he has is a noble thing, whether you want to admit it or not.
And realizing that, pray to God, are you sure this is what you want me to do? Say, son, this is for you.
The first night?
Yeah, the first night. Mm-hmm. It's going to be your responsibility. And
was that scary?
Oh yeah, I think scary just in the sense of, not scary, but it was more so an opportunity. Like, okay, God, this is what you want me to do. This is, stepping in to raise, a child with C and this and that, and realizing that, okay, God, like, I know she's the one for me, but also too, I'm going to take this responsibility as well. Like, okay, like, and I was ready for that. I was ready for that. I was ready to, 3 days later I meet C. Take this responsibility as well, like, okay, like, and I was ready for that. I was ready for that. I was ready to, you know, I love children, as you know, I love kids and everything else, but it was like, man, to help raise a child and everything else, understanding that, okay, God, you're gonna give me this opportunity. What a gift. Even Jesus himself, like Joseph was a stepdad. I was like, okay, it wasn't biologically his. So I'm like, okay, God, you're gonna give me this opportunity to love the way that you were loved, like to love the way that you want us to love. Wait, God, that you want me to. And so then, you know, it's been an amazing journey, obviously, raising 4 kids. And
yeah, y'all have 4 babies.
Yep.
I'm gonna ask the question later, like y'all done, but damn, bro, you want more?
Of course, yeah, more.
So you got 4 babies right now. Might be done. What's the best piece of advice you can give us men out there on parenting?
Take this responsibility as well, like
not parenting, on being a father, right? And then also being specific. You said it, you know, not much you're holding him, and you're like, yo, this is God gave you that vision, like, yo, this is going to be your responsibility. So
I think Future was 9 months when he met them, and so the baby Future was 9 months when God told him that.
Like, is there a difference from, you know, how you approach being a father, stepfather? You understand?
No, I think that when you're raising children, right, and you're married and everything else and loving, it's like, you got to love every single child as if they're yours.
Agreed.
Right, that's been the greatest gift.
Which is very important, he's right here. If you are married to somebody who has children already, you have to love those children the way you would love your own child, and that you love your own children. There should be no differentiation between that, because now you guys are a family, right? Like, you know, I don't really rock with the whole step parent thing because of how step parents are seen today. But understanding that, you know, yeah, I may have a bonus child, but, you know, it's a bonus. Like, this is an addition to my family, not, you know, can we look at step and we think of things like Cinderella and the evil stepmothers, or, you know, horrible stepdads. But when we start looking at these children like they are ours, like they're an extension of our family, I think he has a good head on his shoulder when it comes to this specific thing. Of
raising Future and Sienna and Wynn and now Mora, you know, in 2 months. It's like, man, God gave me that opportunity to raise them and to love them and to care for them and teach them and to love them as every day, you know, that way. And there's no difference. There's no difference in the, I think to me it's the greatest gift, and knowing that that's the responsibility to raise these 4 beautiful children all together. In this, and we all come from blended families a lot of times. We all come from different this and that, but it's to be able to be one, and that's been the best part of raising these kids with C.
I think that's it right there, and I agree. And now these kids are in a position, Future, baby Future, and the other sons that they may have are in a position now where they can at least get guidance from Russell Wilson. At least they can understand from Dad when I become a man, right? And this is hard to do because some of us may be in a situation where we feel we are men, but we haven't heard it from our fathers yet. And it's probably because you still have some work to do. They could be proud of you, but you haven't reached that level of manhood that helps, that positive nature of you being a man spills over to other people. And that's essentially when you know you become a man, when you have really been put in a place where your masculinity positively spills over onto others. Oh, clip that up, please, and share that. All right? What's going on? I see you guys in the chat. What's going on, TKC? Glad you were here. I respect and I salute respectful, honorable stepfathers. Many children have avoided jail and hell because of the structure provided by the man willing to do this. 100% agree. 100% agree. A single parent, whether mom or dad, needs to be vetted to avoid unnecessary situation. 100% agree. I have certain criticisms of Russell Wilson, as do I, bro, as do I, as well. But I can see how others may have a different perspective about it. Yeah, like this, like again, when he talks about how God told him to do certain things, it causes me to raise my eyebrow, because God told him to lead his wife. And you, again, like I said before on this live stream, he can be seen on the red carpet with his wife fully exposed for the world to see. And God's not going to go against his word. And God has expectations of men. He also has expectations of women. And one of those things is to be modestly dressed. So if you're going to be leading your family in the ways of God, that's got to be one of those things where you're supporting your wife in that area, and he's not doing that. But I am hoping that through all this, because on occasion when I do remember, I pray for him. I do, because I gotta be honest, I like him, and for a while I was rocking hard with him, defending him to a lot of people, on having debates about how he, what kind of man he is, or what he's presenting out there. But when it comes to him stepping up and raising a child that's not biologically his, to the point where he sees his child as his own, he gets respect for that in my book. He gets respect for that. We tend to shame stepfathers for stepping up and completely absolve the biological fathers who did not. They didn't step up, but when another man steps up, he's shamed for it. I think we got to really look at, and again, as I said before, that is evidence of the state of modern masculinity. Sometimes people make bad choices, and those bad choices result in a child. One bad choice, it could ruin your life. It could. Or it could attach you to a lifelong responsibility, like a child. Because I don't believe childs would necessarily ruin your life. It's all about perspective. But you will definitely have a lifelong commitment to raise a child, and then grandchildren after that, which is why you got to be very careful. And not even just be careful. Do not engage in recreational sex, because that's what really causes a lot of single parenthood out there. Stay away from it. But if that is the case, and a young woman made one mistake and it resulted in, because we look at single mothers as if they all were out there, running down in Miami and living hot girl summer. And it's not the case. It's not the case. Okay? And if a man steps up and falls in love with a woman and chooses to be in the life of her children and consider those children his own, that's commendable. It is commendable. It is. All right. And again, it's indicative of what masculinity is today. It really is. And we got to sort of start shifting our mindset when it comes to masculinity. Because again, if your masculinity is not positively outflowing onto your community and your family, I beg to question if you have reached manhood. I have been told when I said things about manhood, who am I? I'm a man who has raised and is raising 3 sons who have mentored uncountable others. And it's because I would like to give them a path to walk in so that they can at least achieve what they would consider manhood to be, and that they can positively outflow that masculinity and manhood onto others. That's what manhood should be about. Yes or no? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Should masculinity, should positive masculinity, positive manhood positively overflow and touch in a positive way the people in their surrounding circles? Like, should it be? Because that's what I believe. If you look at the biblical pattern, it's there also. And we live in a time where we don't have a rites of passage. So what if you don't have a rites of passage? What options do we have? I would recommend looking into the scriptures and identifying what the scriptures says about what it means to be a man, and using that as a metric. Reading those scriptures, right? And then connect with a local church and even say, hey, listen, I'm going to have a sort of rites of passage. Like, I want you guys to let me know when I have reached this time when I have become a man. It's not like, 1,000 years ago when my people who came from Nigeria, according to my DNA testing, right? Or any other remote area of the world where they were tribal people and they had actual ceremonies to indicate when a boy has become a man, they would either send them hunting, and if they came back with their first kill, they had become a man. And what's dope about that is their first kill, right? I talked to you before about manhood spilling over positively to their community. Their first kill will benefit what? The community. The community. If you can do that, you have become a man. If you can go out there and hunt and bring that game back and feed our people, you are a man. I don't know about you guys, right? But when I think of things like that, it only proves my case, and it makes me feel good about being a man. I want to positively affect people, and I want my masculinity to be able to help do that, my manhood to be able to do that. But today, men are like, no, me being a man is about me having the nicest car, the biggest house, the finest girls, and then if I get those girls pregnant, they got to do what they need to do because I don't want to have a child. We have really twisted what manhood is all about, because it's no longer about being a positive entity in a society. It's about other people looking at us and revering us, and not us being servants. We have really missed the mark. We really missed the mark. And I hope we can make some changes there. At least on this channel, we're looking to make some changes on that. We're looking to bring manhood to the forefront of society in a positive way, where everybody, male, female, young, old, benefit from our masculinity. Amen. Who can be, let me go here. Let me exit here. Let me go here. Let me go here. Who can be a better teacher for boys to become men than the Father himself? Preach, bro. Preach. Okay. It seems that from my observation that many of the critics would prefer the children to go without a dad if the bio dad isn't going to be involved. I could be wrong. And that's what it seems. That's what it seems, because they get shamed. They get shamed. But yeah, and it shouldn't be that way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Psalms 112, 1 through 3. The rite of passage has been looked down upon for some time because we live in a time where anything that is deemed traditional is considered outdated or less exciting. But let's be real. Let's be real. Oh, sorry for everybody watching on IG. I have it set. I got to figure out how I can do this on IG, but either way. But you're absolutely right. Anything considered traditional is outdated, and it's even people who look at the Bible and they think of the Bible as being outdated. They have that mindset because they don't want to be accountable to anything. They just want to live life, and it's sad. It is sad, right? Yeah. And I'm concerned about that, and I don't want my kids to just grow up just shooting an arrow, hoping to hit without aiming it. Like, I want to give my son something to aim for. Like, listen, you're going to be your own man. All right. You're going to be your own man, but here's a target that I want you at least to aim for. Aim for that target. All right. At least until you can create your own target that would positively impact the community. That's what we need in a society, rites of passage, and fathers should be thinking about that. And it doesn't have to be necessarily a ceremony, but just you being in your children's life and teaching them and showing them and being a guide, a role model for your children, so that they can at least your sons, so that they can even your daughters, but give me a second, so that at least your sons can see I should be going in this direction because my father went in that direction. And I may create my own path, but at least I have a trajectory. And for our daughters, being a role model so that our daughters at least can identify the direction of where a man is going and say, you know what? They're going in a good direction because I saw my father walk in that direction. And they're going somewhere positive. That we need that. And I'm hoping that we get back to that. I'm hoping we get back to that. I really do. Thank you so much for being here, Molly December. Glad you're here. Sister Molly says, did not get the notification. I definitely watch the replay. Please do. Please do. And make sure you leave a comment afterwards and let me know what you think about it. Greatly appreciate that. All right. But yeah, make men great again. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Bring back godly masculinity. Yes, bring back godly masculinity. I think we need that. Society needs that. And again, godly masculinity will positively spill over. And I'm going to say this, and I'll probably end it here with this. If you label yourself a man, but your masculinity has not positively affected the people in your community or your surrounding, your family, who, like, whatever, then I question whether or not you've reached the actual status of what it really means to be a man. It may sound judgmental, but I just want you to think about that. I just want you to think about it. Yeah. This is going to be a good comment. I know it. I feel it. I feel it. It's going to be a great comment. Watch. Growing up in the hood, a lot of young boys are told that their manhood would get questioned if they didn't have multiple girlfriends. So guys would traffic in this bad behavior to fit in with others. Can I give you guys a quick testimony? If that's okay with you guys, I'm going to give you guys a quick testimony. Okay? Not something that I'm proud of. I can't share too much. I'm not going to share too much because my students watch my podcast. So, and my elementary students cannot hear some of the things I say on this. But when I was young, I felt the pressure of being a certain way with women, with girls, because they weren't women then, they were girls, because they said that's how it was supposed to be. But none of them was experiencing that. And me being a follower at the time without a man consistently there to show me, I got caught up in some things. And I'm like, it's nothing like how they described. What are they talking about? And then when they found out, they was like, what? Really? Tell me all about it. Like, whoa. And then I became the man that it's weird. So you're absolutely right. You know, I grew up in a tough neighborhood, and the models we had there weren't all that positive. But I'm thankful that I had good men as alternatives to look to. My Uncle Jake, my Pop Alvin, my cousin Dwight, my godfather Dad, my neighbor, Mr. Allen. Like, he was a dedicated father and raised his son and daughters. They're older now, but like, my friend's father Steve, my friend's Dennis's father. Like, actually, I grew up in a community with dads, so I was able to see dads at work. My boy Ivan, his father. Wow, like I'm thinking about it, right? Like, I've seen fathers. I remember going fishing one time with my friend Steven's father in Florida. They flew me to Florida, and we went fishing. Like, so I'm glad that I had that experience of seeing men be responsible in their homes and be dads and stuff like that. And my family men and my family, even though like it was far in between, like I definitely did have more proximity to the men in my community, but I'm glad that I had that. I'm glad that I had that alternative. I am. Let me see what my brother Brandon has to say. Masculinity has many positive attributes outside of the physicality aspect. 100%. A shame that many masculine attributes are antagonized, such as mansplaining, or being stoic, being taken as nonchalant. I agree. I agree. One of the things that even our presence make a difference. And what's going on? I see you in the IG chat. We need to support the men who are going in the right direction. 100% agree. 100% agree. So like even me, right? Like I there's something about a male presence that can change the atmosphere. And I know that just being a teacher, I can walk into a space where kids are acting up a little bit, and just me being there could make a difference. I've seen my colleagues, male colleagues, same thing. They'll walk into a room and everything will go shoo, everything will hush. And it's not because we're mean, and it's just there's a presence about that masculine presence comes in and it's positively affecting people. Not an intimidation, but a level of respect there. You get that level of respect when your masculinity is positively spilling over to others, and they can benefit from it without you feeling overwhelmed. So I'm hoping that that this adds some value to you, and I'm hoping that this is making sense, because we need positive masculinity back in our communities. We need positive masculinity back, period. And I'm hoping that it comes back with a vengeance, but a good vengeance to make things right. Yes, and with that being said, I gotta go. So I'm gonna put my theme music on as I get ready to head out. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm glad you were here. At the end of the day, allow your masculinity to be a blessing to others, please, because that is the ultimate indicator, rites of passage for, at least in the West, in my opinion, for manhood. And men, if you're not pursuing your purpose, you're going to be pursuing passions and avoiding pain. And when you do that, all you're doing is extending your boyhood. It's time for us to be men. It's time for us to be good fathers. It's time for us to be good husbands. It's time for us to be good sons and nephews and cousins and uncles. It's time for us to be good in all the areas we need to be good at, so that our masculinity could positively affect those around us. It's time. All right? All right, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have made it this far in the video and haven't hit the like button, please do me a favor. Hit the like button on any platform that you're watching on, because it helps with the algorithm. It helps put it on the feeds of other people. It costs you nothing, and it supports the channel. Also, if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. A lot of you guys who watch the channel are not subscribed, and we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. I've been trying to get to 10,000 subscribers for the past 2 years. So please help us out. Maybe this year we can reach 10,000 subscribers with your help. So please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, so it'll let you know when I upload new videos, when I go live like I'm doing right now. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, there's a couple of ways you can do so. Financially, at least. We have YouTube memberships down below. Click the YouTube memberships button down below, and your monthly donation will help support this channel. We also have Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/Harrison Family Values, you can support the channel there. The tiers are the same. You can support the channel as low as $3 a month on Patreon or on YouTube memberships. If you do it on Patreon, we'll have like perks and stuff like that. You'll be able to watch our podcast live behind the scenes that we're going to be shooting this coming Saturday with new guests. I'm excited. We start filming. We're filming now every first Saturday of the month, and we're batch filming. So you guys will have behind the scenes footage to that, and you guys will be able to see every mistake, every blooper, all that stuff. Right. And what else? Also, in regards to the topic we were talking about, rites of passage, one of the reasons why I wrote the book From a Fatherless Father to His Sons is to help young boys growing up without fathers and point them in the direction of manhood, and also to help single mothers who are raising sons without the positive influence of a father, to help guide them in raising their sons in the right direction as well. So if you are a young boy being raised in a home without a dad, or you're a single mother and you have sons and either the son's father isn't there, or they're not a positive influence, this book will help you out as well. So go to Amazon.com and go and search From a Fatherless Father to His Sons. Purchase the book, and I hope it'll be a blessing to you. All right. And also, you can purchase merch like this hoodie. but did you pray about it? If you go to the YouTube channel and click the merch store, or if you look at this video now and you're watching on YouTube, click one of the merch items down below, purchase one of those things, and it'll help support the channel as well. All right, guys, I'm done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. And until the next upload, a live stream, I'm out. Peace.